live in this woke world, don't we, where everything's cancelled. We're not allowed to like things. Everybody's wanting to cancel every single thing. We talked to you a while ago, didn't we, about the brilliant novels, stories by Enid Blyton, how now apparently they don't want to stock them in bookstores and libraries because of their racist connotations. You couldn't make this stuff up, could you, when you think about it? And every single day, wherever you turn, there's another problem with a word, a slogan, things that were written in history, statues. You just get sick to the back teeth of it, don't you? So isn't it nice to find somebody with basic common sense? Because earlier this week, a rather famous author who sold millions of books around the world, his work's still currently on screen and in London's West End, but apparently people now are offended by his works, and the publisher have decided to republish some of his books, taking out the offensive lines, whatever you want to call them. But now, a senior member of the British monarchy has stepped up to the fore and said this. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. Hope you're all well today. I know, fascinating stuff, isn't it? And let me tell you a bit of inside stuff. All of those new woke books, that are put out by the publishers, nobody is buying them. They're absolutely tanking because the bottom line is people like the traditional stories. Remember the Secret Seven, Famous Five, all of that sort of stuff. People don't want those books rewritten. It's as simple as that. But now the Queen Consort has come out in defence, Camilla, of the changing of the wording of certain Roald Dahl books. That's because earlier this week, the publisher said they were going to reconnect them with a more modern society. Camilla stepped forward and said, well, she doesn't like that idea and she thinks the books should remain the same as they were published. Now, I'm sure many of us on this channel thoroughly agree with her words. I mean, how dare you decide to change an author's narrative, years after their death? Now, as we know, Camilla's an avid reader, has her own book club, and has done a lot for the sales of books, not just by books, but highlighting them. So obviously she's helped a lot of authors, publishers, that sort of thing. She has a lot of power. And this is the first time that somebody of such a senior level within the British monarchy has stepped out and said, no, you shouldn't change it. Leave them as they are. Now, Camilla obviously is a force to be reckoned with, as I say, in the book world. And so far, Puffin, the publishers, have decided to, well, shall we say, halt proceedings. Isn't it nice to have such power? Now, what I would say on a more or less a serious note is, can you imagine if Princess Anne got involved in this argument? They wouldn't dare change anything, would they? A comma or a dot or even the front cover. But seriously, well done, Camilla, for speaking out finally, because as she said, the books were written in the context that they were written. And more importantly, this is what children have been reading for years. Nobody else has found it offensive at all. Why change anything? So I think we owe Camilla a huge thank you for keeping our literary history intact. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.